Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the On Tap podcast. Today we have a very special guest, our neighbor to the east, Wisconsin man himself, up north Jake,
Yes,
Jake
sir.
LaCoste, up north boy, Green Bay Packers fan, rapper, redneck.
I'm a Packers fan, brother.
Yeah.
I felt that connection with you.
Yes.
You gotta spot it when you're around all these fucking Vikings pussies. You gotta feel it out with your bro.
Yeah. So we were talking about this a little bit off camera, but when you first walked in, it was raining outside, so you had it tucked in your jacket. But we were saying that we were hoping you were going to bring this infamous Badger hat that we see in all your videos.
Yes, sir. He had to come through. He had to make an appearance.
This Badger hat, where did you even get this? What's the story of this thing, and why do you wear it in all your videos?
This is the fucking crown of Wisconsin right here. We named him Claus, and I received him from a friend, a fan, a supporter, whatever you want to call it. But it's crazy because I manifested him. I really did. I'm like, man, it'd be so badass to have a Badger fucking headdress, you know?
Yes,
So
yes.
That's what we got.
Dude, the warmest hats I've ever worn are animals like this. Coyotes, foxes, badger. I've never seen a badger one until now, but it looks just as good as I thought it would.
The claws are what really does it for me. Because like everyone's seen the furry hat before, but if you got the arm with the claws hanging off,
Yeah.
oh man,
Unreal. They got the perfect arm span for that.
Yeah, what a
so,
look.
Jake, we really wanted to get you on because your videos have popped up on our feed for a very long time. We've been a big fan of your content, big fan of your music, and I guess really we just wanted to get you on, shoot the shit, get to know you a little bit. So, who are you and what do you do?
I'm Jake LaCoste. I'm a rapper, singer, touring musician. I also go by the alias Up North Jake just because it was a lot easier to introduce myself as that. And I'm coming out with an album, Up North Jake, on the 4th. That way, every time you search that, I'm able to just take over all the pictures on Google and everything like that. But it's been quite the journey. I do a lot of music about the Northwoods. I do a lot of music about, you know, the family activities that we get to enjoy up north, hunting, fishing, fish fries, just hanging out with the family and stuff. And that's kind of where my aim has been for some time. But I also touch on like the addiction recovery and things that are a little deeper, you know, for people to get through, positive messages of motivation. You know, those are things that I'm constantly making songs about and making pieces of content about.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we've been big fans of your music. Who actually put us on to you is our buddy Travis, DPK,
Yeah,
Dirty
my
Prescott
dog.
Kids. Yeah, he put us on to your music, and honestly, ever since then, we've been big followers. So thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
So, like, being in music, obviously, we've had a lot of musicians on here. We've had a lot of rednecks on here, and you kind of mesh into both of these categories. Do you think now, like, being in, like, the country lane of hip-hop, do you think that's harder to grow or easier to grow than, let's say, a traditional hip hop route?
I guess I don't. I've thought about this shit a lot. I mean, this is a real topic because when we all think about rap, we think of gangster rap. But it's like, man, there's been a lot of different music to come out, and I feel like whatever's true to you is going to be easier because people know you're not full of shit.
Yeah.
I feel like every content creator, every artist, every person on here who we have on who's really passionate about whatever it is that they do, it doesn't matter, be it music or content creation or anything. As long as you're passionate about it and it's really true to you, it comes out so much more authentic. It comes out so much better than if you try and play that character.
Right.
Because if you play that character, people pick up on it instantly.
Absolutely.
And authenticity is what, I think what people really see and what they really appreciate.
Yeah, we were just talking about this. We have a segment on the podcast called Motivational Monday, and we were just talking about on one of those episodes that if you don't do what you're passionate about or portray the person that you actually are, people see that and they're like, that it seems ingenuine. Like that's not actually them. It shows through, you know. Obviously not the case in your position, but do you think that it limits you in some regards as far as like people that it would have reached had it been topically different?
I think about that a lot too, but you know, I just at some point you can't care.
Yeah,
You know, and
just
it's
do
like,
whatever you want to do.
I always say this because people like to dabble in things. So when people come to do music, they like to do one song and then show every single person. It's like they're not even making like enough music to get good at doing music. And at the end of the day, that one song isn't going to tell their entire story. So if you hear Fish Fry, like I got a song called Fish Fry. We know what the hell a
Fucking
fish
right.
fry is. But when you're down in like, you know, Arizona, like they're like, what? There ain't no lakes down there. They're not, you know, having fish fries. But that's why the song is really about family and culture and like those gatherings that we have up north that are super rare. So at the end of the day, it's just about family.
Yeah.
And who can't
Yeah.
relate to that?
It's a lot more about the message than the story.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. Now, here's the thing, though. That I don't think that that's rare just in this form is rare. But, like, in every other part of the United States, that's, like, a different culture. You know, like the South, the East, the West, whatever. They all have their own version of that. You know, down South, it's the cookout.
Yeah.
You know, on the West, it's a beach fire or whatever the case. You
Yeah.
know, it's all, it's kind of like the same thing, just a different form of it, you know?
Absolutely.
So I think when people see it for what it is, when really just like a meeting of the minds, hanging out with my buddies, hanging out with my family, whatever, then they see like, oh, okay. That's where the relatability comes from, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that's why your music really relates on a level like that. Obviously, you've been doing it for a really long time, too. How long have you been making music?
I got my first studio when I was 21 years old, and I'm 39 now.
Damn,
Damn, dude.
18 years. That's crazy.
And that's just recording myself. So I had other people recording me for a few years. But I mean, dude, you just evolve and start changing stuff. And then like, it's like, I can't say the artist from 15 years ago would be here. You know what I mean? Like I had to evolve into a product that was respected by you guys and other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to like we were talking about that this morning as well when we were doing our motivational Mondays. You kind of have to. It's good to set a goal, but it's not. You have to adapt to that goal and change that goal as you go along your path. Because what you want right now is probably not what you wanted when you started rapping. It's probably a very different picture in your mind.
Yeah. Even last year, right?
Yeah, exactly.
For real.
It's like last year or the year before, I was like, man, tour. And then it's like you run yourself down and you miss like a month and a half with your kids and you're like, oh, man, that really wasn't that cool.
Right.
You know?
Do you do music full time?
Yes.
So what's the schedule like for a full time artist that, like, obviously, you know, you're doing your grind, but you're not on the high scale. It's not like you're not Yellow Wolf, but
Yeah.
you're in your grind. What's the schedule like for like a mid-level artist, you know, on their way up?
Well, to even put more perspective on that, like someone who's doing like a great amount of streams, they may have more of a pillow than I do.
Yeah.
But I have a rapport with more venues than a lot of people do. So I'm able to go pop off shows and get a bankroll where they may be doing X amount of streams and they're like, have no idea how to even do a show.
You have years of connections.
I have years of connections and I have equipment enough to do it all by myself. Like I can pull up to a dive and throw a whole show. Like I'll dial in my sound, everything. Like I've honed those crafts around getting money other ways than streaming.
Yeah.
Which is a brilliant idea because that's where a lot of people fall short, just relying on that. And it's like, I mean, we were just talking about this earlier too, but getting caught in this like cycle of the only way I make money is if my video gets X amount of hundreds of thousands of views. And then you're stuck in the cycle of how can I get that? And then the content turns into creating for the views instead of creating for what you really wanted to do. So, I mean, good on you, dude, because that's the 100% way to do it. That's how you still have fun doing it for that long.
I get stuck in that, so I'm really glad you brought that up because I'm sure there's a ton of people dealing with that shit. They're just like, well, I seen this guy do this, and now I should do this.
Yeah,
dude, you know what? I'm gonna be transparent. I've done that watching my good friend Trav. Like this guy is so talented at these videos, and I'm like, and they're so entertaining, and I'm just like, God, he's good at this.
So good, talented performer. He just looks the part.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
him and
effortless.
Caroline. It's like, dude, I can't name a better couple for this position that they both are in. Like they're both of their images. They're just so well put together. Yeah, they crush it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like I couldn't hop on a boat with my wife and film myself lip syncing to a video and get a couple million views. Like there's just something about these guys. They just create so much exposure for themselves, you know, with what seems to be so little effort. Obviously not the case, but there's something to be said about the craft of it, because thinking about what you're doing and doing it are two totally different things. And that's actually one thing that I really wanted to get into with you, because I've seen you post a lot of different content. You post your music, you post like vlog style content, you post like some motivational stuff, you post you rollerblading, you post like all sorts of different stuff. So like what do you like, do you have an idea of like what you're posting, when you're posting? You just kind of like do it, make it, and then put it up?
I have a hard time like trying to follow that regimen because I'm just like a human, dude. Like I do a lot of things, you know, like were we talking about golfing earlier?
Yeah.
Dude, I'll go golfing. Like I know how to golf.
Hell yeah, dude. You gotta come to the golf tourney.
But I don't golf, but like I just love to explore things, dude. Like it's like, why the hell do I have to do one thing over and over? Like I've seen this one dude, I honestly don't even know his name, and he like puts a 360 cam on his head and he just runs around, and I'm just like, fuck, man, if I was...
Is this the guy from Eau Claire?
I think
Jaren
so.
guy?
Yeah, the Jaren guy. And shout out to that guy, dude. Fucking, you're a genius. I don't know if I'm supposed to swear. Am I not supposed to swear?
No, you're good.
Okay, cool.
The fuck you want?
Okay, cool. I'm like, this dude's a genius. But then I'm like, if I was pigeonholed into this box of content, I would fucking hate my page.
Right.
And so
if you didn't like to do that.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I shouldn't be so whatever, right? but I just couldn't. There was like when I did Bloody Dough and you guys messaged me on that. Thank you guys. Like, yo, this song is fucking fire.
Dude,
and
I've been singing that all day, and these guys are like, what the fuck?
And I'm like, damn, dude, like that's dope that it reached those guys. So I kind of tried something different and did like 100 fucking reels of the same fucking song, and it drove me nuts.
That's what people do.
I didn't like it. I didn't like doing that, bro. And I'm like, God. And I've been talking to my homie Ryan about like my message. I think once you dial in the message, you know more of what the content is.
Definitely.
You know, and I don't maybe not have my message totally fucking dialed in yet. You know, I was on social media when social media started by necessity. You know what I mean? Like I've been printing CDs for, you know, since CDs were CDs.
Yeah.
Like I was still on LimeWire like probably 5 years before I was printing CDs. But I think I was like 18 or 19 when I printed my first CDs, you know, maybe 20. But still, man, it's like relatively, you know, new. So the internet was just because I had to do it. You know, so it's like when I'm filming myself doing all this stuff, sometimes I'm fucking uncomfortable. But I think that's kind of cool to even post that. Like, hey, y'all, you don't have to have a perfect video, because if you don't fucking do the videos, you're never even going to make good videos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's more like, what's the word I'm looking for? There's more proof of that on the internet than anything else. It's like, you don't have to make this perfect movie quality video to be popular, or even if that's not what you're looking for, to just enjoy your content that you're putting out. And if someone else likes it, good for fucking them.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, man.
That is the way to do it.
Why corner yourself into some niche where you need to have it this perfect? Like Cody is very picky about how we do our shit, very picky about the audio, very picky about cameras and things like that, but that's what he does and that's what he enjoys, and that's why it's like that.
It drives me nuts, honestly, because it's like, oh, what's the shutter speed at? What's the ISO at? What's the aperture
he's
at?
so passionate about
Where's
that.
The camera
that's why
angle?
it's good. It's not because it needs to be. It's not because that's what the only thing that we're putting out, but it's something that can keep him busy and keep him like
keep me busy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
though?
no,
in the world of creators, we got to take a few extra steps to set ourselves apart, especially if we take it seriously too. You know, because like, dude, if you're just going to sit here and shoot cell phone videos all day and never evolve, then it's like, I guess, and that's kind of with the artists too. Like when these artists come in, they got 10 chains on. It's like, well, why are we supporting somebody who was already okay? Like, you're good, man. You got it. But when we watch, like, I remember Wiz Khalifa coming up. Like, dude, I remember when he got his first, or the first chain he came in with was the Pittsburgh chain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, dude, how many chains has he had since then? But I remember the second one, too. It was the zigzag one. So, like, when you support an artist from their first chain to, like, you know, this fucking superstardom, it really means something. And so, yeah, going from this to this shows growth, shows evolution. And but I definitely wanted to be on here way more because you guys have your shit together.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think it's a little bit, it's funny, it's weird thing that people do, like to shit on that low level content creator though. You know, like just because it's something that you don't like doesn't mean you have to go after them. Like we hear it a lot of like, oh, you're taking this idea from this podcast, or not everyone needs to start a podcast, or you're just copying the fucking Nelk Boys, or you're just doing this. But it's like, why are you shitting on me for doing something that I like to do instead of just continuing?
Also, a lot of times we've never even seen that content. It just
Exactly.
by nature, because we consume the same material, I'm sure it's like,
Well,
some of
everyone's
it just comes
ripping
off similar.
Everybody, dude.
Yeah, 100%. But here's the thing too, when it comes to like a lower level content creator, like if they're making stuff with their phone, that might be the only thing they have. And then, you know, as long as, in my opinion, as long as they're progressively getting better and showing like they're putting effort into it, you know, like one thing that I can really appreciate watching your content is that I know you're in a fucking grind. Like not only when I click on your page, I see the last video that I just watched, but 50 other ones up ahead of that. So like you're constantly putting out new material, and that almost is like proof of concept. And it's like, okay, not only is this what I want to do, I'm like actively doing it. And that's what a lot of people I think fall short on. It's like they want to identify as a rapper, as a YouTuber, as a musician, whatever, you name it, but they don't want to put the effort into it. It's just they want that to be their identity. And that's where this like weird thing comes in, where it kind of comes off as a little bit cringy, you know? So I guess do you have like a strategy that you do with like posting your videos or even putting out music? Like what does that look like? Do you schedule like when you make music?
It's changing so much all the time. So I've just rolled with the punches. So this album, I'm back to being independent. The album before this, I was working with a label called Burn County. And then everything before that was independent. So I learned a lot working with them for a couple years, mainly that I fucking hate working slow. I don't like that shit. Like, cause then I'm in my head and I just don't. And I don't give a fuck about taking 7 months for a song, bro. Like, I'll make that shit in 7 hours and, like, we can... Dude, I used to get super excited about this concept of making a song in the morning and shooting the video by night.
Yeah.
Like, the whole fucking thing. Like,
yeah.
That shit geeks me up. And I think that's pretty much, like, a testament to how I would like to be dropping content.
Yep.
Just mass level. But then you start reading stuff and they're like, this year, it's not about dropping content every day. It's about dropping the best content. And I'm just like, man, okay, step it up a little bit. Bust out every fucking light I have for every reel I'm going to make now. And make sure that it's like perfectly lit. Make sure that the iPhone is picking up cinematic mode because we need that shit now, you know? And I'm still honing in on the formulas of these reels, but I like doing the music video-esque shit. So I will do like three different angles. That's what I like to do right now. And I'm really been getting geeked up about, just to veer off the music stuff, but this type of stuff. Like being able to just talk, bro, and not... Because I would rather talk to you than talk to the camera.
Totally.
It's easy for me.
Yeah, and for me it's a lot easier like as a content watcher to see somebody in a setting like this and get to know them as a person makes me like their music that much more.
Exactly.
To know
absolutely.
to know the person that I'm supporting instead of just a voice is so much cooler.
Yeah.
It's what makes you more of a diehard for the artist. Like if you like the artist, if you like their music and the way their music makes you feel and the way they perform, if you like enjoying their live performance, like you feel a connection to this person. It's just like with podcasting, you listen to people talk for hours and you feel like they're like your best friend, you know, and it's cool to make those connections. But I honestly got to take it back a little bit. I want to thank you, first of all, for getting me high as fuck before this episode, because I'm fucking feeling it. But I want to, you know, take it back a little bit. You know, we've had a pretty serious conversation. I want to ask you, you've been doing shows for years.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've done hundreds of shows. Is there something that comes to mind of like the craziest thing that's ever happened during a show, whether it's like somebody threw something at you, someone died in the crowd, like, you know, anything crazy?
So Upchurch, I opened up for Upchurch in Joliet, Illinois, or Joliet, or whoever, man, however I say that. someone's going to correct me. Let's start there. And I think there was like 500 people there. It was sold out. And this was really into, this was the first album I did that was country rap. I hadn't even put it out my first country rap album. For the record, I have like 15 other albums that I took down from the internet for message wise sake. Like they just, a lot of the songs weren't promoting the right messages. But anyways, so there's 500 people at the show, and I do a song, and then there's silence because like my DJ stops stuff and I try to talk or whatever. It's cool that you brought up how many shows I've done because I wasn't very good at talking at this time.
Yeah.
So it was just dead silent, and this dude's like, "You suck."
Oh, damn, dude.
Dog, and you just
That's got to humble you.
You just act
immediately-
like you don't hear him. Just act like you don't hear him. Because no
You
one
have
else
to.
is saying nothing.
You can't acknowledge. You just have to roll with the punches because they'll respect you more for that. Like,
Right.
If you give, unless you hit them with a quick roast.
Unless you're quick like that, like that's what I love comedians who are like that, because a lot of them will ignore it, but some of them that's what they want.
Yeah.
They want you to be like, "Oh, you fucking suck," and be like, "I'll show you who fucking sucks, buddy," and it's not me.
Yeah.
Yo, that's great. And I didn't have a roast. And then so the next song came, and same thing. And I let the vinegar up, and I'm like, "Yeah, we fucking heard you." You know what I mean? Like I got mad. And but dude, that feeling is hard, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
In
'Cause
front
you're
of
up
that
there,
many people.
And it takes a lot to be up there. That's got to be nerve wracking, you know?
And
it's
there
like,
was some there was a couple giggles behind it, dude. Like it wasn't one man just. There was some validity in the crowd, you know.
Someone agreed with him. That makes it even worse.
Oh, it's so bad, bro.
Oh fuck.
And then another time I was on tour with Overtime. I don't know if y'all know who Overtime is. Great dude. He's taught me a ton about touring, and he's taught me a ton about ad management on Facebook. And so he took me on my first like run for free. For those of y'all that don't know, there's a few different ways to go on tour. You know, you can pay to get on, you can get paid to get on, and then you can go on for free. And he took me on for free. So huge blessing. And dude, we're in Ohio. I don't remember where, and it doesn't matter because it's Ohio. And we're in Ohio.
Fuck Ohio.
Dude, it's a grimy motherfucking state.
Oh, we know.
Get him.
We just went on a trip there.
We just
know.
went to Ohio.
Perfect. So we're in Ohio, and we got, I want to say there was probably like 150 people there. And all of a sudden, there's like 400 people lined up at the door. And they're all a bunch of college kids, a bunch of black college kids. Like they're ready to party, dog. Like they're lined up. But we're like, why the fuck are they lined up so deep? Like places don't get lined up like that without having some flow coming in. Well, I'm gonna tell you why, because we're still in this motherfucker. This dude double booked us.
Oh, no.
He double booked us.
With who was the other?
Dude, I don't have a clue because I was
Obviously
trying to get the
poppin'.
fuck out of there because they're getting mad.
Oh, no.
So they're standing in line like mad as hell. So you got, for context, like we're standing in front of venue around the side about 70 feet to the back, you know, there's another door. We're working our way out that door now, right? But here's the issue. Everybody with a weapon is trying to get in that door because they don't want to get searched at the front.
Oh, you're at the danger door.
Exactly. So now we're in the alley, me and OT. I'm talking about all the other tour support. I won't say no names because I love them. They fucking left. Bro, me, OT, two other dudes, me and OT are signing autographs while there's like a flood of 30 dudes with weapons trying to get in this door. And we're trying to still our team's still trying to load out that door. And all I have to say is the tension was so high. Like you could feel it. You were like, any little shit, this is going to be the worst case scenario. So that's my couple tour stories right there.
I couldn't, and especially you're in a place that you don't know. All these people, obviously, you don't know. I mean, a lot of them probably didn't know who you were because some of them were there for this other show that was booked.
Bro, we look like white supremacists with the vests and the rings, the biker rings and shit. We ain't got a bunch of black people on our squads. Like, I've had black people on my squad before, but at this moment, it just wasn't that case. You know,
were they saying anything about this? Like,
no. Well,
did they make it
I
a
think
thing?
someone else heard something in it. Dude, it was. I'm not a scary motherfucker, but I know when there's imminent danger. Like, I know when I could get stomped the fuck out and left in an alley. Like, I'm not dumb.
Were you wearing the badger?
No, this was pre-badger. I always wore the badger on my vest though, with the Wisconsin on it. You know.
Yeah, that was back in 2010. BB.
Yeah, something like that.
Before Badger.
Before Badger.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine going on tour. I've always thought would be really, really fun because you're in new places all the time. But I would imagine there's definitely some downside to that. We've been in a couple of places where the green rooms are basically just a concrete dungeon, you know? Can you think back to any venues that you've played at where there's been like funny stuff in the green room or like just a wild looking green room or stuff behind the scenes that people wouldn't know?
I remember the good ones. I don't remember because the bad ones, you just kind of move the fuck around real fast. You're like, well, I'm not chilling in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'll go sit in the car. But the good ones have showers and kitchens.
Really?
Oh,
Damn,
Damn.
that's baller.
I've never been in a good one, I'll tell you that.
I've taken a shower before I've left a venue before, I'll tell you that.
Damn.
Yep. Like if it's a long drive, bro, I'm like, oh, I'm hitting this shower for sure.
That's way nice.
That's sweet.
Dude,
I would never guess.
Speaking,
go ahead, my bad.
No, I was gonna go on to a whole new topic. So if you got something to say,
well, just to wrap it up, I've seen like some really cool amenities. Like, dude, some venue owners are the shit, bro. They'll load you up with an ounce of weed and the fruit tray and the fucking everything, bro. So it's pretty cool. And some
sweet.
fans will come through with like Kansas City, my boy Matt, like he'll come through with trays of barbecue for the squad, bro. Like,
That's sweet.
so it's really fucking cool on another level.
I was just gonna say, like, the whole being on tour obviously is so much traveling, and like we were just telling you, we did that road trip to Ohio. Like that's the best part of a trip for me, but it can also by far be the worst part of a trip.
Yeah.
Like we did, what was it, 11 hours one way. On the way home, like the boys finally started to get a little chippy with each other. It was a lot of roasting everyone, and then on the way home we started roasting each other, and I'm like, this shit could get bad.
Yeah.
Luckily, I drove the whole way home. Everyone else went to bed like a bunch of dickheads. But
Hey, I had you, Mitch. I stayed up
Sam
with
stayed
you.
up with me. I'll
There
give
you
him
go.
that. Sam
Good
did stay up with me the whole
co-pilot.
time. But like, what's some of your best like road tripping on the road touring stories? Like, are you on a bus, or you guys like have a caravan of cars?
I have to take my own vehicle because of what you basically just said. Like, even with the homies, dude, it gets a little crazy.
It can.
I'd keep one homie with me. My homie Larry he's my right hand. He wears 7 hats. I wear 7 hats. Like,
It's a lot of hats.
it's a lot, but it works the best that way because dude, it just gets a little tedious, like being around each other so fucking long.
It can.
But,
and I think that's a testament of like having a real friend too. Because if you get a fake friend, then you can bullshit for however long. But if you got a real friend, eventually you motherfuckers just start to hate each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys are gonna want to punch each other in the face at some point. Eventually,
Like, bro, we're almost to your house to drop you off. Let me give you some weed. Have a great night. I love you.
See you never.
Dude, that is the
For
vibe
real.
saver. That's what can save the group from the tension getting too high. Is a little bit a smoke session between the boys.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's the way to make friends. That's the way to win over your friends that you're fighting with. Like, it's just it heals you as a person, man. We just fucking heals you, man. That's right, dude.
You're turning into a shaman over here, right?
Brother, dude, he had
Dude,
the high
shout
dose.
out Deca Al. Shout out
Deca
everything,
Al.
dude.
I think if I don't, since I don't smoke, I think the best thing for me on a road trip is if we can find common hatred. I will bond with you more than any. If we
Mitch
can
is
find
a big
something that we
hatred guy.
both hate,
Oh, he's a hater.
man, we can go for hours.
Yeah, like
dude.
you preach positivity, Mitch preaches negativity.
Oh, man.
I just think it's so fun to have a common hatred with someone. Like,
Yo, it's easy.
hate the same
It's
thing.
easy. Well, but my leadership coach says, let it pass through 3 filters before you say it. I think he said, is it Oh, look at. I'll start with, is it kind? So you're already fucking up. We'll just
go
there.
It's not ever.
Does it need to be said? Is it kind, and is it? I think it's helpful or something. Does it bring value? Those are the three filters, Mitch.
Man.
So you're fucked.
I'm fucked on all three.
Yeah. So no, and no.
But I think for whatever reason, I think maybe I'm fucked up in the head. But I think if I can find something that me and you both hate, and we both can talk about how much we hate it, that there's no better bonding in my mind.
I mean, everybody hates something.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't have to be a good thing. Like, we could both hate fucking Nazis.
Yeah, or pedophiles.
Or pedophiles.
I hate
we can
both
both
of
hate
them.
pedophiles.
We
can bond over that.
It's
We're
not
bonding.
It's not very kind. They're people too.
No, you just got
That's what he
that
fucking
shit.
does, dude. This is the shit that he does.
You just lost that conversation.
Here's the thing, though. That's the problem is, never mind. I was going to throw Mitch under the bus and make up some crazy story.
Back to the tour story, okay?
Yeah.
I want to let people know, because you might be a dreamer out here, right? Like, dude, those crowds and those people, there's no feeling like that, man. Like, performing your art in front of people who appreciate it, that is the best thing about tour, no matter what, dude.
Dude, I can't even fucking imagine, because I had about a minute of fame where we threw a Halloween party and DPK performed, and we had him on the first time he was here. We told him that I was singing the Ronnie D and Dr. Pepper part.
Yes.
He's like, oh, I can't hit those notes anymore. If I'm ever doing a show that you're there, I'm going to have you come out and sing Ronnie D and Dr. Pepper with me.
Yes.
And so we went on this trailer and we performed it together. And dude, like, having everyone line up in front of the trailer, and like, I remember flashing my phone around and people were like, like, people get crazy.
Yeah.
White people get wild in front of the camera. And like, just being in front of everyone and performing, like, I only performed for 30 seconds
That's
total,
all it
but
takes,
it was
huh?
fucking crazy, dude.
It's like a real drug.
Absolutely.
I get that
really
feeling
is.
about the whole entire Halloween party in general, or the golf tournament. Like, the idea that we made this event happen and people showed up because we made this event happen. Like, just seeing not even the sales, but just seeing the people come into the event itself is like, damn, that's fucking cool that we
It's
can
sweet.
just round up a bunch of people that
Well,
equally
and-
fuck with us and like to have a good time.
On top
Right.
of that, it's like 99% of the people there have a very similar outlook on life that we do. And we know
Yeah,
that going
so it's
into
really
it.
easy to get
So
along
we know
with.
it's going to be a good time. And we know that they're also meeting with other like-minded people that they've never met. There's so much to talk about. They don't know anything about each other. So it's a lot of fun because we pair these groups together, especially for the golf tournament, that have never even talked to each other before on purpose, so that it's like way more fun. The beers start flowing.
Starts getting
We-
chippy.
We had a sponsor donate 3 ounces of weed at our last golf tournament, and he
Yes.
rolled them all into joints for us. So we just passed out like 100-something joints.
Dude, everyone that came in, you just hand them a couple.
It was like,
joints.
hey, you want to grab a handful? Whatever.
I love it.
It was so fun.
Dude,
so everyone
shout
was
out-
having a great
Shout out
time.
Minnesota for their legalization.
Yeah,
Dude,
dude.
100%.
It's so cool.
Big time.
What's the, like, do you know the most amount of people you've ever performed in front of?
I think it was just like, it's only been like 600.
I mean, dude, that's fucking insane.
That's a shitload of people.
I can't even
it
imagine
is.
being in stage in front of 600 people. What is that like? Like, what are you a nervous guy in general? Do you have anxiety?
No, well, not with this. So, I mean, performing is just awesome to me. But dude, this last show, I just did a couple shows with Savannah Dexter and Bravo Gator, and man, the first one we did, because it's been a minute since I've been back in that like bigger room, I was pretty fucking nervous, but I get so excited, dude. I'm like ready to just yell, basically.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
once I'm just like, yeah. Like, that's the first thing I say when I come out. It's like, oh, and then it just, Ice and Snow comes on, dude. And then it's just like representing for the Northwoods after that.
That's
Fucking
sweet.
right.
Oh, yeah.
So you said you opened for Upchurch.
Yes.
Did you ever get to meet him?
No.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't. No.
How does that work out? Like, he's in a kind of a different area. Like the headliners are in a different area.
You're
than the
not
openers?
allowed in the green room,
Okay.
depending on who it is. So, like, Demon Jones, like, he was cool with having me in the green room. Because some of these people I've already, like, had a rapport with their artists or people that they fuck with. So, I've been able to get in the back rooms of a lot of places. But sometimes it just isn't like that. Like, with Savannah Dexter and Bravo, I didn't get in the back room. I literally waited an extra hour just to have them when they walked out, just to thank them, and I carried some merch for them to the truck. So I'm just a super grinder, bro. Like, I just want to be a part of the team.
Yeah.
No matter what team I'm working with at that moment.
Absolutely. And that's obviously a testament to how you've been able to take it for so long. Because people that don't put in extra effort or care don't get those opportunities. And that's why you get asked to go to places.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't.
Well, yeah, because it would be really easy for you to be like, oh, he didn't let me in his green room. Fuck him.
Easy.
But
Oh, yeah.
it's not like that.
And a lot of people do. That is a lot of people's mentality.
For sure.
That guy probably has never even met you. He's not even the one that said no. You
Yeah,
know? And then they're
exactly.
like, fuck that guy.
Yep.
Dude, you never even talked to him.
I mean, I'm all right. I don't want to get philosophical, but the 4 agreements. Y'all heard of the 4 agreements? Never, never
that
make
Neil-
assumptions.
Neil-
Dude.
What's his name? Neil. Who's the author of that?
I'd have to ask my boy out there, man.
I listened to the audiobook of that last year, actually. Great book.
Yeah, it's amazing. And
Yeah.
it's never make assumptions. So don't assume this dude is like blowing you off, and nothing's personal.
He sees it totally
So he's
different.
not doing it to be like, he's got shit going on. And you just find a way to fucking insert yourself in the way of opportunity, man.
Absolutely. What do they say? Is success is when luck meets opportunity, or no, when preparation meets luck.
Right?
So like if you're not putting in the work when that situation does arise, when you're not willing to carry a box of merch, that's what's going to get you the extra conversation, and that's what's going to get them to remember you.
Right.
Realistically.
Right. And even I seen this other thing is like it's law. Like you put in that extra work, you're going to get paid back for it. It may not even be by that situation. So it's really just law, man. Like just grind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Fuck else are you doing?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, dude. I want to shout out the merch. I see you're part of Throttle Clan. My
Yeah,
boy
man.
Mitch here, he's also part of a clan. So you guys got that in common
That's
too.
fucked. That's a crazy thing to say.
This is a family.
No, dude,
That's
shout
what
out. I
he
love
said.
the bucket hat, dude. It's
Yo, appreciate
Yeah,
you,
that is
dog.
sweet. Do you design a lot of your own stuff?
Yeah, well the staple is this font, you know what I mean? So I learned a while ago to not really change the font, just change like the colors and the styles of shit, but yeah, I'm a mild designer, dude.
Yeah.
I do it again kind of out of necessity, but I fucking love to dress, and I mean it just I might get into creating more clothes later. Like, I think it's cool to do one piece at a time and just spend a lot of time on it. But I've done that before. But with my vest, I should have brought my vest in. But I love having the only thing that, like, I'm the only one wearing that thing. Like, you're not going to be able to just, like, if you're wearing the same fucking thing as me, man, it's like, God damn, are we fucking twins in here or something?
And also, there's something to be said. Like, you're just giving money to a company that does nothing for you.
Right.
You know,
Right.
all of, well, and as I say this, as I'm wearing, he's wearing my sweatshirt.
Yeah, I'm
this is
wearing
my this is my
Sick.
videography company.
Yes.
But like, I get so much pride out of wearing our merch. I'm always wearing an on tap shirt or on tap hat.
Yeah.
All the time, and people notice that. And people locally, I'm assuming, have bought it because they've seen us or our friends wearing the merch already. And it's such a good feeling to be like, okay, now you're buying this. Not only are you wearing something that's badass, but also you're supporting the dream to work. Your passion.
Absolutely.
It's supporting the whole thing.
You guys get pictures and then people tag you.
Oh yeah,
That's the best.
definitely.
Dude, definitely.
A lot on Snapchat.
That's awesome.
Snapchat's like the main spot.
You cannot do one without the other, right? Like
Yeah.
you gotta have everything pumping because you'll be like, oh snap, I've been neglecting that. And then you throw it up, it's like 400 views. You're like, fuck, dog. Like even if I take 10% of them motherfuckers with me, we're making a little bit of something.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's cool to see what everybody's using and how these videos kind of work in different places better,
What have you learned in the journey so far that you could tell yourself when you were first starting music?
The journey's the best part.
That the process, like
Yeah.
the love of just doing it.
Yeah, because to bring it back to the social media thing, when you start thinking you have to make certain, I love how you said that shit. Like, dude, you're uploading it because it's like dope to you. And if they like it, fuck it, they like it.
Yeah.
As long as you can stay in that, you're gonna win because you're gonna make your best shit. So it's gonna transfer the best.
Which again, this is where Travis DPK. This is where he excels.
Yes,
He's literally just filming his life.
He's so
And it
He's so
works.
good at it. He's so
It just
witty
works,
and
so
fucking
natural.
funny. Naturally. And he's naturally witty and funny. Like, so I was gonna tell a story about us at Snowcross because I'm not around them a lot. So I don't know how they create content. They are so like in the fucking moment. So Caroline busts out the phone. Everyone's, and they're running up to the phone. And I'm like talking to like this person they brought with them, this girl they brought with them. I'm like talking to her, yeah. Da, da. And all of a sudden she like turns the camera on me and I'm like, like, dude, I don't know how to do that shit on site. But at the same time I do. But like, I don't know how they create content.
Right.
So it was like, damn. You just missed a moment, dipshit.
Everyone has a different process for sure. And we've
Yeah.
noticed that doing the podcast where it's like some people like you that are just naturally comfortable on camera, you can just get in, we can just put on the headphones and start.
Yeah.
There's other times where we're sitting there for an hour explaining, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what it's going to look like. This is what it is. And then they just have all these questions about the process of it.
That would give me anxiety.
I was literally in panic mode when we hit record today because we didn't hang out with you out there for that long.
Oh, dude, we're hanging out right now.
That's what I'm saying though. Like you're doing a very good job of it, but like otherwise I would rather sit out in that room before the cameras ever turn on and feel someone out for like an hour and a half.
Our green
before
room.
We ever even
Our green
think
room
about
doesn't
it.
have a shower.
That's
our green room.
interesting.
That so like when we came in here, I'm like, fuck, I don't even know this guy yet.
Wait, you don't
Mitch
have
is
a shower?
We don't.
I was trying to shower before I leave.
We got
I'm just
toilet.
kidding.
He's going to get sweaty.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty crazy, though. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought
that's
you
like-
guys maybe 30 minutes, but
Yeah, I mean,
It does
dude,
take away from the conversation sometimes, though.
Yeah.
I will say that.
there's
like,
give and take.
because I'm excited to tell you guys things and you're excited to ask me things, and
Yeah.
it's like we don't need to regurgitate
waste
that
it.
Yeah,
shit.
you don't
waste
want to
it.
burn it.
Yeah.
There's definitely a fine line there, but like, you know, we were only out there for what, maybe 10, 15 minutes. But
Oh, yeah.
We got
We
in
had to
here and I was
christen
like
the room
panic
real
mode
quick.
about it because I'm like, fuck, I don't know.
I don't know this guy.
You're killing it, by
See,
the
we
way. This is a
connected.
very
We-
good interview. Like I like it.
We had that
Yeah,
weed
love, bro.
connection, man. We've basically been friends for 10 years at this point.
Yeah. No, if you guys had been like, bro, you cannot smoke in here, I'd be like, it would have like put a little fucking, you know what I'm saying, on me. I'd be like, damn, bro, they ain't really friendly with that. Why'd you even ask? No, I'm
These
just
guys
kidding.
fucking suck.
This guy's carrying around a fucking badger or something. I don't know what's going on. So give us a little bit of your background. I'm curious, like what was like your upbringing like, and why did you choose to start doing music?
I think I've always loved music. I'm an only child. I spent my summers up in Three Lakes, Wisconsin, which is about 45 minutes from the UP state line. You know,
Okay.
like
So, like,
Michigan.
way up
So
north.
up north for real, and that's what kind of put the country in me. Like, even though my city, you know, we got the Chippewa River flows right through my city. There's cliffs we used to jump off of when we were kids, and like everything is country city in my city. Like, you're riding your bike through the city to get to the cliffs. You're riding your bike through the city and then walking down to the river. So it's just a really country city vibe. But up north in Three Lakes, dude, it's dirt road. Like, it's fucking country. And my grandparents had a house on the lake. So a lot of catching frogs, turtles, fishing. They bought me a jet ski for a couple years. I got to smash that out. My grandpa had, dude, and I think I broke it if I remember correctly.
Naturally.
Yeah, naturally. My grandpa had a pontoon, so we used to fish off the pontoon a lot. My grandma she nurtured my creativity a lot. I remember her writing down the lyrics to Wizard of Oz for me when I was super young, and just that was kind of my earliest recollection of being that interested in music, where I wanted to memorize the words. So I always kind of, you know, bring that up. But when I got a little older, I had a stepdad for about 8 years that was really into music and systems and cars. So he had a 93 Blazer that he painted purple, and it was like the coolest fucking thing.
That was the best version of the Blazer they ever made.
Yeah.
Dude.
Those are the most comfortable goddamn cars that you can own.
He had two 18-inch subs in there. He had lowered it on some spokes and put a teal green stripe down the side of it.
Damn.
All the kids in my neighborhood were like, dog, that shit, you know, that was the shit. And I rolled around with him for some years, 3-4 years in that motherfucker. And so there was a lot of music culture being pumped into my head at that time too.
That was what I was going to ask you is what's the music that got you into music? Because it's always interesting to hear like what artists grew up on and what they're like working towards, who they fuck with now. Like, what's the music that got you started on music?
Besides Wizard of Oz.
Besides the Wizard of
Yes,
Oz.
Wizard of Oz, bro. I thought we just went through this. No, it's definitely rap because that was the shit that I started recording, right? So I didn't like start with a band. So rap was
And is that like 90s rap? Like
shit,
Oh,
dude.
yeah,
I
dude.
just completely disrespected the shit out of Minnesota, and I'm sorry, but atmosphere is what really got me to start rapping.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yo. I like forgot all era there for a minute.
Okay.
But when I got into my teenage years, my homie was a couple years older. He had his license, and we were going to First Ave, seeing atmosphere and everybody they brought with them.
Like Aesop Rock.
Idea and abilities, and then the whole battle circuit was huge for me. So that's when Eminem went out to LA and all that. I was into that when he was like doing that, and I had we had no idea who the fuck he was.
Yeah.
But definitely Slug from Atmosphere and every fucking buddy he brought up is the reason I started rapping and like battling kids and competing and stopped doing all my schoolwork and writing music all day long. That's definitely the reason. That culture that he created.
Who's like we've asked this question to like just about every rapper we've had on here, but who's your dream collab? We could do one dead and one alive of
Amy Winehouse for the Dead.
Oh, interesting. That would be a really good collab.
And alive.
The Badger.
besides DPK.
The Badger's the dead one.
If the Badger
Shit.
could come alive and just spit a verse.
Yeah, Claws. Who the fuck killed this guy? We need info. I'm gonna try and pick one faster than later here. I'm definitely gonna go with. I'll say. Oh fuck, bro. I'm not. Jesus, I
So
just
many to
drawn a
pick
blank.
from.
No, it's dude, Corey Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who
Yeah, I'm
Corey Taylor is.
unfamiliar.
Man.
You guys fucking kidding, dude? You better edit that out. Slipknot, lead man,
Oh,
Corey
okay,
Taylor.
yeah, okay.
okay.
I do know Corey Taylor.
I'm not good with names. I'm not good with artist names.
Never mind.
I do a lot of other music. I have like a lot of rock music I'm working on and shit that hasn't seen the light of day yet. So for me, music is just like in its full artistry. It's, I would pick singers over rappers.
Okay, so
funny,
you're
you
not.
feel me?
Are you trying to stay like in? Well, obviously not, because you're making
I'm not
rock
really-
music. You don't really have a direction. You're just kind of making whatever you think is fucking dope, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's just you try to section these songs out into projects so they fit each other. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I have like soft rock songs, bro. If I let you hear them on here, you'd be like, what the fuck is going on? So when I introduce it to the world, it's got to be introduced properly.
Yeah.
Like, yo, this is called fucking All My Emotions, or whatever.
Yeah, right. Otherwise, it can come off like, what the fuck?
Right.
What is going
right.
on?
But there's a couple singing songs on there. And if you look at like Lost, Found, Something to Prove, these are songs that are all out that have singing hooks that I sang. So like singing isn't like new to me. I'm doing it all the time.
Yeah.
So would you rather just be considered as like an artist than a rapper?
I call myself a rapper singer.
Rapper singer.
It's that simple.
Easy
about
enough. Sam and
And
I
a touring musician, baby, because
Sam and I
those
were-
are all different things.
Sam and I were just talking about we want to start making parody rap songs.
Sick.
We want to just start making just funny raps. We want to be a new age Weird Al.
Did you
Yeah,
guys live
dude.
through that era? How old are you
Yes.
motherfuckers anyways?
28.
24.
I'm 22.
Yeah, no, you didn't fucking live through that era.
Nah,
How old are you?
dude.
I had a
Weird
Weird
Al
Al cassette
Damn.
when I was a kid. My mom put me on early. We had a cassette
That's
in
really
this
cool.
minivan that we would drive around in, and she would play this cassette. A lot of these songs I didn't even realize. I had heard Weird Al's version before the normal, so I thought some of these songs were just completely original.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this guy's
He's like, who the
these
fuck?
songs are so good.
He's like, just eat it. Eat it. And
Got
you're like,
him.
bro, it's beat it. He's like,
I don't
no
remember
way.
which one it is, but it was got a boogie on my finger and I can't shake it off. That one, that was the cassette that I had, and I remember my mom and I like memorize all these songs. I'm like, oh my god, like this is so good.
I love
The
it.
comedy rap,
It
like I was raised
good,
on
though.
comedy rap.
He's a great artist.
Yeah,
Did you watch the movie?
yes,
The biopic thing?
so good.
It was fucking hilarious.
So good. They did such a good job at like picking the characters to play him too.
I laughed hard.
So good. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go look at his.
That was a big
documentary.
era, bro. That was a big era.
It was.
Like he had Amish Paradise, bro.
Yes.
I've heard that song.
And like, bro, Can you relate? Like some of us in the United States of America know Amish.
White and nerdy.
Dude, we got a lot of Amish.
That's what I'm
around here.
saying.
Yeah.
I grew up like 2 miles from an Amish farm. We used to turkey hunt on their property all the time.
They're like, get the fuck out of here.
No, they loved it. Because they were cool as fuck. We'd help them. My buddy had a tractor and he'd bale their hay for them. So they could get around it.
So amazing.
Loopholes.
Yeah, loopholes.
Loopholes.
They're living, dude.
You could get
yeah.
you could get double yolk eggs, $1 a dozen.
Yeah.
They can promise that it was double yolked up.
Yeah, because they have to check them all before they send. They had a huge chicken farm. They had like 4,000 chickens.
Wow.
And they sold like grade A organic eggs to
Double
these stores.
yolked.
No, just regular eggs. But if they had double yolks, then they would keep them separate and sell them.
At a
fuck
premium.
do they
that,
know?
are those twins? Is that? Are we
I don't know
talking,
how that works, but I know
that
double yolk
is
eggs is badass.
That is a question for the rapper versus redneck. I think right there.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a
You're
good
right.
one.
Are double yolked eggs considered fraternal or what's the other one?
Nocturnal.
Nocturnal. Are they nocturnal twins?
Or is it just a baby with an extra head?
These fuckers won't sleep at night at all.
Yo, you guys could probably compile 30 Amish questions for the rapper versus redneck.
That's actually a really good idea. Yeah, I think we need to run it back another episode of Redneck versus Rapper with 2 redneck rappers, Jake LaCoste and Travis.
Dude,
aka
I would
Dirty
love
Prescott
that.
Kids.
I'm interested to see who would actually fucking win. Not even on a competitive level, just genuine fucking interest.
Well, it's got to be competitive. You got to be extremely competitive.
Well,
to
I
win.
am.
I've
Yeah.
done 2 of them now, and I'm 1-1, and I'm not really happy about
This
it.
fool said that.
They always fucking cheat though. These 2 motherfuckers cheat.
The
At the end, they
combine
always
question.
like, oh yeah, if he gets it right, this is triple points, and then he gets it right, and then I get fucked. I'm like, what the hell, dude?
Hey,
then
Money
like-
Junkie almost got you.
Yeah.
That's fucking bullshit.
Money Junkie did not know no country shit. He was like, bro, I don't want to answer this.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He didn't.
didn't.
And that's okay. It was
Yeah,
a great
it is.
episode. Money Junkie was a good dude. Hilarious
I
off and
watched
on
most of that.
camera. He's so funny. Yeah, he is the most camera trained guy that we've had on by far. Camera
Oh,
comes
yeah.
out, boom, he's on it. Money Junkie, hottest Mexican in Minnesota, hottest Mexican in the world.
Oh, yeah.
It's like this whole thing, just boom, he rattles it off
taglines.
every time a camera's in front of him. I'm
And
like,
then he
whoa,
goes
that's
right
impressive.
back to just like chilling.
It's just a quick little boom, you know?
He's got to intro himself. I love it. Such a funny dude.
Dude, being in the industry for so long, have you run into a lot of characters? Like, I'm sure you've seen a lot of people fall off and come to the scene. Like, what are some of your influences that you've run into? And like, have you run into just any crazy people, I guess?
Are we talking artists or people?
Both.
Okay. So artists, the saying is true, like, don't meet your idols. Because I think, and it's actually, I'm not even going to say that. Just don't have big expectations,
Yeah.
bro. Like, this
Assumptions.
is a person you're going to meet. Assumptions. This is a person you're going to meet. It's like some girl you've been trying to get with for a long time or something. And you're like, it could go this way. It could be all good. We could be best friends and then it could work out. And if you let your mind kind of run like that with the artists, you're going to be pretty fucking disappointed. Because back again, dude, they just have so much shit going on. Don't take it personal. They're not thinking about you when they're like, bro, I don't fucking.
The funniest example, or at least the one that popped in my head while you were talking about that, was like, obviously you grew up in the Michael Jordan era of Michael Jordan being an absolute dominant figure.
Yeah.
From everyone every video you'll ever see in person, he's kind of a dickhead.
Yeah. And
Which I mean, I'm not saying the dude isn't so whomped constantly still
Right.
to this day, but like, you can't expect someone to be who they are. You know, just because they're the greatest basketball player in the world doesn't mean they're going to be your best fucking friend.
so I was talking about that the other day with Kobe and Jordan, is like because Kobe's a dickhead too, is like the level of persistence and the level that they're trying to achieve. It's so fucking far ahead. You might have to adopt that entire those characteristic traits in
'Cause, I
order
mean, like,
to get there.
Well, once you
Absolutely.
are the best in the world at something, you kind of have to own that. You kind of have to have the mentality of, I am fucking better.
I think you have to have that to get to that spot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I don't.
saying.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because like those people that are the 0.0001%, they're psychotic about whatever they do, and that seems to be the case with absolutely every person that's in that scenario. That's in a life-changing position. That's like they have such a passion for this thing, they're willing to do and say anything in order to maintain that. and then also have these weird expectations that are so skewed because they're so focused on what they're doing.
Yeah.
That it changes the way they look at everything.
I feel like they either go the asshole route or they go the completely off the fucking rails route. They just turn into Kanye.
Yeah.
You know, let it just get crazy wild because you don't have anything else to do. You don't have anything else to prove.
Right. You know who's the exception? Posty. Yeah. Why is Post always so awesome?
He's the most authentic dude you'll ever see, I feel like.
So, you know, it's actually really funny. My buddy met Post Malone not knowing that he met Post Malone. He works and lives in Salt Lake City, Utah. Posty lives in kind of the mountains right outside of Salt Lake City. And just like kind of by himself, he's got this massive compound right outside. And I don't know if that's where he lives all the time or what the deal is. My friend's boss is pretty high up in Salt Lake City. He's very well, you know, he's done well for himself. Anyways, he's at a backyard barbecue at his boss's place. A lot of rich people there just hanging out. Meets this guy who's tattooed up, and he doesn't listen to pop music, rap music, nothing. Like he's a underground punk guy. No idea who this guy is. Introduces himself as Austin. You know, they hang out all night, and it was a close group at the end of the night, 10, 12 people. Come to find out later on that he was hanging out with Post Malone all night. I had no idea who it was. He just said he was a really nice guy. I had no idea who he was.
That's the greatest story, because what else are you going to fucking do? Right. You're going to ask him for tickets to the next show, bro?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
You're going to ask him for an autograph when you're about to have a genuine interaction with this man? Like,
right.
Fuck that autograph,
My
bro.
brother-in-law swears to God that he met Tyler Childers in Duluth one time at a
really?
fish market. He said absolutely 1,000% identical to Tyler Childers, wearing a West Virginia hat. And he said he just like walked up and he's like, hey man, have you ever heard of Tyler Childers? And the guy kind of smirked and he's just like, no. And he's like, and Chris is like, do you listen to like bluegrass music, like country music like that? He's like, oh yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. And he's like, so you don't know who Tyler Childers is? And the guy just kind of smiled again. He's like, nah, never heard of him.
Oh, that's funny. It probably was him.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah,
that's
for sure. Because if you
crazy.
listen to bluegrass music or like country music like that in general, you're gonna know who he is.
You
at least.
gotta.
Wearing a West Virginia hat, like
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, exactly. Who do you think is some of the biggest people in the industry that you've gotten to meet or be in the presence of?
Jelly Roll.
Really?
Oh, that's sick.
I opened up for Jelly in like 2019, I think it was, at Everybody's Bar. That was a sold-out show. And then I was able to... this is a cool story. So Jelly Roll's old weed man, I salvaged a really cool relationship with him through Instagram, and he's actually like a fucking really smart dude. I'll hit him up and just be like, bro, what's the motivation of the day? And what's the knowledge of the day, right? And he'll just spit me something, and he's super smart. And I was able to double back a couple years ago when Jelly did a place that just got a tornado hit today, Lincoln, Nebraska. Jelly did Lincoln, Nebraska, and I was able to get his weed man, which is Treetop THC. Shout out, bro, for looking out. He hit up Jelly's manager, and I was able to, kick it with them for the night and shit.
Damn.
That's super.
How is he in person? He seems like a
Dog,
awesome
he's got
dude.
a lot on his fucking plate. That's what I was gonna say. Like, when you're in the presence of these people, bro, everyone's asking or telling them something. Like, just be there, bro, and enjoy that you're in the presence of motherfuckers who are doing something amazing. And but honestly, dude, he was probably stressed. The feeling I got from him, like, he was like, I just want to fucking chill. You know, shit, man. It's a lot.
When you get to that level of stardom, you don't really get chill anymore. It doesn't happen. So like anytime you can, if you're gonna go to the bar and chill, I don't want to kick you out of my section because I don't like you. I just need some time to myself.
Yes.
So
And
it's hard to like call that guy an asshole because he's not. He's just a normal person.
Exactly.
At the end of the day,
you get to view it from that point when you're there, around them. And then Yellow Wolf, when he did the Go FM, is it?
Yeah, that sounds
Go
great.
Fest. Go Fest or whatever.
Okay.
And
Yep.
they did it in the Twins Stadium. So big shout out to Zilla. That's Yellow Wolf's manager, and he's brought me in a few different situations there, like full backstage with them, not like. And I try to go to these places by myself, dude. Like, That's how you get in those doors.
Yeah. You can't be rolling them with a squad of people.
Nope.
They're not going to let
Nope.
7 people in, but they'll let one person.
Yep.
Yeah.
One or like you and your guy, but it's better if it's you because then you're like a part of the squad. If it's you and your guy, it's like, oh, he has a companion. Like he fucking let him go, kick him out or whatever. But that never happened. But Zilla and Yellow Wolf, like being around them, dude. Like, man, Yellow Wolf's a legendary artist, bro.
Yeah. Amazing.
He's got such a presence. Like just the way that he is like, I don't even know. He's another one of them dudes that's just so unbelievably unique.
It's crazy.
Got
Talented.
that charisma, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I got the shittiest story I got to tell you guys. So, I went to South by Southwest with those guys for the Travis Barker showcase because South by Southwest, they just shut down everything and every single venue becomes a show, right?
Damn.
So the famous Stars and Straps, he had his own show. So he had Paul Wall, Hobson, Yellow Wolf, Ritz,
Damn.
That's a lineup.
Bun B.
Fuck yes.
And like maybe one or two more. Travis Barker, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like these guys are all there. And I got fucking drunk. And I'm walking around like I came with these motherfuckers, but I got drunk to the point where they like disowned me.
Damn.
Like they're like, bro, go fucking move around. This is a valuable lesson. This is why I got to tell this fucking story, dog. And I basically was in the crowd by myself all night and then later found out because motherfuckers were staying with me at the hotel room. Like, bro was like, bro, I came out to get you to fucking meet everybody and you're just fucked up, And I remember it. Like I wasn't, but I was fucked up. I didn't want to meet them. Like if I wouldn't have wanted to meet them like that.
That sucks.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
So don't drink if you're trying to make moves, man. Like stay in your zone because God, you never know what you can miss being fucked up.
Absolutely.
For real, man. But yeah, I don't know.
No,
That was a
I would
sad day.
imagine that happens a lot, especially for people that get the opportunity to open up for big artists or their first big break. It's a point of celebration, no doubt.
Yeah.
I think people take that too far or as an opportunity
Yes.
to take it too far.
Mm-hmm.
Or they just do it like to kill the nerves.
Yeah,
and
that
take
too.
it too far.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to do.
Oh,
To win, you're like, oh, whatever. And then I had linked up with a couple artists before that, and I was buying them drinks, and so there was like this whole shit going on that took me out of my A game. But I'll never let that happen again, dude, and I'll never forget that story. Like, dude, I remember tons of moments from that night, and I was like, fuck.
That's
Damn.
badass, though. That's a cool story nonetheless. But Jake, I know you guys got to get out of here. You got a plane to catch. Why don't we wrap this thing up? Plug your socials. Where can everyone find you?
At Jake LaCoste. My last name is spelled LaCoste. But if you search Up North Jake, you're gonna find me right now everywhere. Man. I feel like I'm everywhere, dude.
Hell yeah.
Just search
Fucking
it.
right.
Yeah. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, man. We
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
it.
Absolute pleasure.
You guys are awesome.